The tariff crash that happened at the start of this year created a lot of uncertainty, and the V bottom and the strong bounce that's actually happened in the stock market right now has actually happened, and it's gone a lot further than what a lot of people were thinking. And now I'm starting to see a bit more FOMO coming into the markets right now, and this is what's giving me a bit of a cautionary tale about why I believe there is a bit of a correction coming in the markets here. And I want to give you a bit of an alert here that I believe there's a correction coming in the markets, and I believe maybe most things are going to have a correction. Even gold looks like it may have a bit of a correction. The mining stocks as well too, even silver. All these things may look like they have a bit of a short-term correction, but looking at the actual stock market itself, if we see the overall waves of this stock market and what's going on, you'll be able to take yourself back from the big picture, looking at the stock market. Look at the major waves that's happening in the markets right now. There's massive big waves that's happening and forming right now, right? We have a big wave up, and then we have a big wave down, and we've had a big wave up overall, and we had a wave down, and then we had a wave up. We're probably gonna have a wave down, and then we're probably gonna finish this year off much stronger from here. But right now we've actually done too much price, which means too much price. We've had too much movement on the upside, and so therefore we're likely to see a really good strong correction. And I'm warning you guys right about this right now, is because when the market does start to correct, this is the Nasdaq here. This is the Dow Jones here. The Dow Jones may have a little bit more upside to come, but we're starting to even falter here on the Dow Jones as well too. I wouldn't be too surprised. Now coming into August and September, there's going to be a lot of volatility, and we know that August and September are typically really volatile months, which by the way is amazing for us traders, right? So the big thing I really want to sort of walk you down here and walk you through this path here is that even if we do get a big correction here, I want you to keep an eye on that big picture, okay? The big picture is going to tell you the story. Big correction here, say 10% correction, is probably going to come along the way. Dow Jones, we're looking at the Nasdaq here, especially the Nasdaq and the S&P. They are the ones that's probably more prone to having a correction. Now, what does that look like on the big picture? This is the weekly chart here, right? And if I zoom my charts out a little bit more, see my box here? That box there is roughly around a 10% correction. All that will be doing, right, is all this will be come down. It'll just to be a bit of a drop in the market, right? All this here is likely just to be a bit of a drop in the markets through to here, right? And then we're probably going to pick back up, and then towards the end of 2026 into 2027, at the end of 2025 into 2026, we're probably likely to see something like that here, all right, guys? So don't be alarmed, don't be fear. Just expect it. There actually is a really good correction coming along the way. As you can see, even through the COVID boom, right? We had this up here. And do you realize this drop here that happened here back in COVID, that was a 10% drop. So this here is just a 10% drop. So we do get really good corrections in big bull markets, 10%, and so on and so forth. No, the top will not be in at that time, and we're probably likely to see a lot more upside to come from there. Looking at silver here, guys, this is the silver price. Silver has actually broken out, but we're actually starting to stall right now when it comes to silver. Starting to stall through here. So even though we've had a lot of nice move up to the upside, there could be a bit of short-term weakness coming out of this silver price through here. This is the silver market here. Let me take everything off the screen. So yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised, guys, to see a bit more weakness coming out of the silver market. Long term, I believe by the end of this year, we're going to see a lot higher prices. In fact, if I show you my weekly charts, by the end of, let's actually bring on the SLV here for you. The SLV for you, this is the SLV price here, right? Lots of going on through here, right? Lots of stuff, and yeah, he say, they say, and so on and so forth, right? So yes, we're probably likely to see a bit of a correction from here, but I actually see a $42 print coming by the end of this year. Right, so this next couple of weeks, I do see there may be a bit of short-term weakness coming out of silver, maybe even gold as well too. Right, this is gold here. Gold's actually flattening out, so we may be getting ready for a drop in the downside out of gold as well too. Now, what would negate the drop out of the markets is we hold here, both in the silver price and the gold price, and we start to see a move up. For example, this is gold here. Bring on the trend lines. If indeed we see this here, and actually let me bring on the GLD price, because that's the GLD price is the one price that we should be focusing on. This is the GLD price, right? If we do, as you can see right now, let's zoom right in here. We're going sideways through here, right? And we're starting to flatten out through here. We're probably going to see a pretty nice, decent drop coming out of this one here. But if it doesn't, the thing that will negate that is if we do something like this here, something like that, and we get a big volume spike through there, this breakout here is probably going to tell us we're getting ready for another move, and then a 4,000 print in gold is probably like to come, right? Now, what does that mean? Probably, actually, let's see that through there. So this is the, so we've got a, that's a probably a nice good 20% rise could come out of gold on the actual gold price. If we have a look at this here, is it actually is that a 20% rise? So they're probably, maybe it's not quite. So again, it's a good 20% rise out of the actual GLD price, right? So a good movement up through there. We're probably going to see there. So maybe 370 on the actual, so 300. Just looking from here. Yeah, so we're probably going to see a nice good move if we do, right? So the one thing I'm watching for a good trading opportunity is I'm waiting to see, do we actually get a nice good breakout here? Up here, do we actually end up getting that? If we do end up getting that, then we're probably likely to see a really nice move back to the upside, right? And same for the mining sector, guys, right? The mining sector is looking quite weak from here. We're starting to slow down from here. West, we're on a very strong upward trend, but if we do get any downside, it's going to be short-lived, I believe, because this big, if you check this weekly chart out, this is the weekly chart here, right? So any short-term movement coming out of the mining sector is probably going to do that, right? And then expect by the end of this year, I do see we're probably going to experience something like that out of the silver mining sector. So if we do get a correction here out of the silver mining sector, it's probably going to be very, very, very short-lived out of the markets. Same for the SIO as well too. And the GDX is set up for a really nice move. So all the mining sector, even gold and silver, are set up for some really big moves. If we do see a correction, it's probably going to be very short-lived before we see short-lived, meaning of the next couple of weeks to the downside. And then we're likely to see a very big move back to the upside. So there you go, guys. There's a bit of an update for the markets. Traders, I'm giving away a free trading course. That first link in the description. You can grab access to that. If you'd like to get access, I've put together my top 4 trading systems for $4 only. There's that link in the description there. And if you'd like to get more private coaching and join my 1% club, where you're with me every day, where I'm actually coaching you every day through these markets, then there's also that link in the description. You can apply for that. Speak to you soon, guys.